Many people are feeling right now like you don't know what to do. You may feel purposeless. You may feel a bit stuck. You may feel like the world and the pace of the world, of the society, of the technology, of everything is speeding up and you're not catching up with it. So there's kind of division between the subconscious rhythm and the conscious rhythm of what's happening. We can't sometimes comprehend all the changes that are happening all at once, but subconsciously we are responding and reacting to them. So it's like a subconscious rhythm speeds up, but conscious is not following it. And what happens, there's a separation between the understanding and the reaction, and it causes an anxiety within the body, right? So many people are feeling right now like not really knowing how to navigate through these times. And we are in major times, in really incredible, in exciting times. But at the same time, we have to be really compassionate and really kind towards everything that's going on in the world, and to emanate as much compassion as possible, as much love as possible towards the areas of the planet that are the most affected by those transitions, and everything that needs to come to the surface as a byproduct of suppression that was happening for such a long time through the years. So you're about to shift, my friend. But to make a shift, you have to become the change. You have to become the shift, right? The world needs you to change. If we want to see the change in the world, we must change. We must become the change. And we already know that. But I still often, when I talk with people, and sometimes people say, hey, when all of this is happening, I don't know what to do with my life. I feel purposeless. I feel like I don't have the right position here. Like, I want to move to a new earth. I want to, be a healer. I want to, be in a position where everything is already well and I can help others and I can serve. But I don't know how to do that, how to initiate that. Many people feel that confusion, like, what can I do right now? So I want to give you a practical video for that, because many people may feel like that. So firstly, the Earth is going through a huge transition. According to modern satellites, even in astronomy, you can tell that the zodiac age is changing. And what is happening right now, we've just ended the old age and we're in the beginning of a new one. But the thing is that 1 degree of a zodiac lasts for about 72 years. So even if we've already stepped into an age of Aquarius, even though nobody knows exactly when one zodiac age ends and when the new one begins, we only know that the transition is happening and we can feel it and we can see it on the world. So if 1 degree of a zodiac age takes us about 72 years, it means that even if we are at the beginning of the age of Aquarius, the first few degrees will be the most transitional. So we are like the beginners of a new age. We are like setting the foundation for the new age. And what's happening, if the age of Pisces was the age of division, the age of separation, the age of polarity, so one can learn from another, so one can recognize what's sometimes wrong in another and can therefore integrate and implement the lessons and therefore move into a new age with a greater clarity and wisdom. So as we are stepping into a new age, we are now integrating the wisdom from the past, lessons from the past, knowledge from the past. That's why our history can teach us so much about ourselves and can actually remind us of what we should stop doing if we want to become more of who we are. Because it's not like we've forgotten who we are, we've just distracted ourselves. And as we're becoming more aware of this process, we may recognize that that's what is happening on the world. Everything has a price, right? And what was done needs to pay its price. So when we suppress something, at some point it needs to come to the surface, like our own traumas, our own emotions, and our own wrongdoings and hurts we've been through. All of that is coming to the surface. And depends of your past, that's how you're experiencing your life right now. Anything that was suppressed is coming to the surface only so it can be acknowledged, so we can become aware of it, and you can learn from it and recognize what it is teaching you. And at this point, it's great if you can find someone who can guide you through this process, like a therapist or a coach or a mentor that can kind of show you the way. Because sometimes if you find someone who have been through what you're going through, can easily show you what you can't see, right? Many of us may be feeling like that. So as we're going slowly transitioning into this new age also represents a new world. That's why there's a lot of talk about a new world. And a new world requires new you. That's how it can manifest. And a new you requires more awareness, more consciousness, more compassion, more self-love, more self-acceptance. So you stop distracting yourself and rather start paying more attention to yourself. And if we go into some ancient Buddhist traditions, we can notice that they were talking a lot about death, how to prepare for your own death. Because they said that if you want to have a pleasant death, an easy death, you need to have a pleasant life, right? You need to live a pleasant life. If you want to die well, you have to live well, right? Because many of us may be afraid of the death or of dying, mostly also because we are afraid of having this unpleasant death, painful death. And the one, that is lasting for a really long time, and it includes a lot of suffering. And that's what we are the most afraid of. But in Buddhist traditions, they said that if you want to avoid that, live in peace with yourself. Learn to be more at peace with yourself, to calm down your spirit, to learn to calm down your chi, your life force. Because if you live a pleasant life, you will have a pleasant transition, because there is no death, right? You only change your clothes, right? So if you want to move through any kind of transition more pleasantly, you have to learn to live more pleasantly, to live more peacefully. So you need to learn to calm down yourself. If you're constantly anxious because of what's happening on the world, you're not doing much good to yourself. What is anxiety, my friends? And anxiety is happening when your blood flow through your veins is faster than your breathing. So you're not following it, and therefore there happens a separation within your body and you become anxious. So the question is why your blood flow is increasing. It may be because of certain emotions that are suppressed or that arise because of certain experiences. So we start following all that happening. But what we can learn in this process is that we need to become more in control of our own biology. Because your body on biological level is an animal. And you as the conscious being, finding yourself within your body, you need to start learning to use your body more wisely, more correctly. You've got this incredible opportunity to be within your body, to use it for its purpose, And you may be wondering what is the purpose of all of that. And you will soon find out. But you can only find it out if you start using your body correctly. At the first fundamental level, you may recognize that your body deserves healthy nutrition. It deserves movement. It deserves plenty of water, if possible, cleansed one, right? It deserves oxygen, like well breathing. Those are the fundamental principles that can provide health to our bodies. So it's really hard to have a spiritual evolution if we don't even take care of our own bodies, right? If we don't learn to organize ourselves and kind of manage our lives in a way that our life starts serving us, that our life starts working for us in our favor. This is the fundamental pillar of personal evolution. If we want to move through a transition more smoothly, we firstly need to take care of our physical bodies. Make sure that you are moving it, going often into the nature and working out or doing certain activities that helps you to balance your blood flow with your breathing. Like, for example, when you do a workout, you recognize you can't be anxious while working out because you become one with your body. There's no separation anymore. Separation only happens when your body is presented to one thing and your mind is somewhere else. That's when anxiety happens. When, for example, you're waiting to something and your mind is already in the future of re-experiencing it, and there's a separation between your body in the present moment and your mind somewhere in the future. So you need to recognize that if you practice certain activities that nurtures your body, you will start to have more energy, more harmony within your heart, and you will feel better. You will start to feel more organized. You will start to feel like your life is getting in order. And you will start to feel more alive. And you will start to feel also more peaceful, because you will notice, well, I feel really well, so I can now create more peace in my life. We can't feel at peace with ourselves if there are so many things going against our will. So we're kind of learning to become one with our intentions and our actions. We are slowly learning to do what we say and to practice what we preach, to walk our talk. That's what we are learning right now. And when we become really good at it, everything starts aligning, and that's where the real spiritual evolution starts happening. So we need to take care of that. You are about to shift, and that's where the shift begins. Taking care of your own bodies, right? And then, if you're already doing that, you get to the next level. And the next level is what you want to do intentionally, knowing what you want to do, knowing what you want to do. Paying attention what truly sparks joy in your heart. Recognizing this is where I really want to invest now, this health that I've created, this vital energy. This is what I want to do. And usually at the times when we become really, really healthy, it becomes natural. Those realizations become natural. Like when we start to feel alive, we start recognizing, oh, that's what I want to do. Sometimes just this process of from going, from being sick or dealing with certain diseases or certain anxieties or emotional traumas and toxic patterns, those old negative habits, certain burnouts, just this process from that old self into a new, healthier version of yourself may be so meaningful and so filled with lessons that even this may awaken a sense of purpose within you, to kind of awaken a spark of enthusiasm for teaching this to others, because so many people are going through this process, not being able to take care of their bodies, and sometimes it's really not easy. Sometimes we're dealing with maybe something chronic, something that we really don't know how to resolve. So we have to be compassionate towards one another and recognize we're all going through our own battles, right? We're all going through our own battles. So we have to be compassionate towards ourselves and recognizing that all this process is just preparing us for something. And many of you may be at a point where you're healthy and you're thriving and you're still wondering, well, what to do with all of that. So at this point, you need to practice clarity. You need to practice connection with yourself, spending more time in quietness, and spending also more time with those who have similar interests as you have, so we can exchange information, right? Finding right communities or right circle of friends. And sometimes you can't find it in your family members. You've most probably already noticed that this separation already happened, that even in your family circle, you just can't talk about most of those things because they don't agree with you, or it's not about agreeing, but rather just having open minds for open conversations. And if we're too obsessed with what's happening, we can't have an open mind that allows us to accept and to have these open discussions. We have to learn to let go, right? To release, to empty our cups, because then we can open ourselves up for something new, right? And it can be done through quietness. That's why many people who go through what we call spiritual awakening are exposed to solitude. Their lives just turn in a way that they are going through solitude. They're kind of pushed to be more alone. People don't have time for them anymore. And maybe you lose money and you recognize you can't do same things you've done before. You can't go into a gym, or you can't do certain things you've done before. And you're exposed to be alone and to deal with all of that. It's just a time of your life or a chapter of your life where you're building this connection with yourself that was lost due to these old ages and separation. And now, as we're coming back together with who we truly are, we recognize that it's time to shift our identity, because before we've been identified with physical and with our thoughts and with our emotions, with our beliefs, everything we think that is real. Now we are getting in touch with something that is eternal, something divine, that can only happen through an inner experience, that can happen through a certain practice of meditation or certain activity that allows you to be present, like yoga sometimes, or Tai Chi, or sometimes it may happen you go for a run or for a walk, or if you can't do those activities, maybe you go for a swim, or you sit in the nature and you experience that. When you experience that something divine is happening within you, where you're being reminded that you're much more than this old identity. And that's where you start forming new identity that is based on truth and based on honesty and based on authenticity, like what truly feels natural. Because truth always feels sustainable and natural. So only when you feel like your state of being is really sustainable, that's when you know that you're authentic. Like, you could stay in that all day long. You could do this thing all day long. Like for me, painting, for example, it's something authentic for me, something natural. Anytime you would ask me, I would come across certain inspiration and I could paint it. It's just natural. Sometimes people ask me, do you ever have this artist block? And I say, no, I have too much. I mean, not too much, but I'm always inspired because I was born for this. So when we recognize that all those blocks actually come from disconnection of the self, what we really need to become good at is at maintaining the connection. And it can only be done through practicing quietness, being present with yourself, and getting to know yourself for who you truly are. And then the next phase is recognizing what you find in those quiet moments, right? Because if we say, oh, I have a soul, many people say, oh, yeah, I have a soul. Then the question is, can you express it? Because otherwise it's just a concept, right? Can you express it? That's the next phase. When people start expressing themselves truly, uniquely, authentically, that's where we are building the bridge into a new earth. That's where we start shifting. So you are about to shift, my friend. When you start expressing yourself, your truth, your nature, what feels the most natural, you create the shift. That's how you become the change. And we all find out, one way or another, that the truth doesn't know separation. It doesn't know hate. It doesn't know wars. It doesn't know judgments. It doesn't know blame. It doesn't know worry. It doesn't know fear. It knows love. It knows connection. It means unity, right? And when people act out of truth, they naturally build communities, because community is what? Common unity, right? It becomes a common sense to unify. That's why we're seeing communities all over the world happening. We get back into our common sense. And when we get into our common sense, it's so easy to filter everything that's happening, because we reckon, oh, that's not sustainable. Oh, this is not the truth. So when we're seeing wars that are happening, more than anything, your love and compassion will be the most helpful. Transmutation of energy. This is a great power. When you see, okay, something heavy is happening, I will not react to it. I will respond from a higher state of being. Let's project some compassion to there. But then I will ask myself how to demonstrate this compassion on the world. So younger generations, when they see us as examples, they will learn from us not hate, not fear, not worries, not anxiety. They will learn from us how to take care of one another, how to talk with one another, how to treat one another, how to express ourselves, right? Because most of our behaviors are just copies of behaviors of others because of our mirror neurons in the brain. So to create the change, we become the change, right? And that's how you are about to shift, my friend. It's not about competition, who's more evolved. That's old school, right? We are beyond that. It's about seeing what else can I learn from that other person. What else can I learn from that other person? And practicing it and staying in touch with myself so I can live a well life. Right? To live in peace, to live in harmony, to live in love. Because love is that powerful force that makes us dance, right? That makes us move, that makes us create, that just makes us take care of one another. Not by force, because you want to help someone. Because you're so filled with it that you can't stand having it for yourself, you want to share it. That's when you find natural ways, actual ways find you by itself, how to help others. Because you just start to feel inspired to create, to produce something, to go outside and help someone. So it's not forcing yourself to become more purposeful and to help someone, but rather to take care of yourself. We are truly in a time where we are taking care of ourselves, because for such a long time we were only taking care of others, never took time for ourselves. So we got sick and we got tired and exhausted and burned out. Just so we would be reminded that still life is happening through you, and life can't move through you if you're not okay with yourself, right? You're blocking it. So you have to take care of yourself, and then life will start moving through you. Your life force will awaken. You will awaken. You will awaken the giant within you, the mystic within you, the wise teacher within you. And then through the repetition and consciousness, you will become it. And that's how we are building this new earth, my friends. So this is it for today. I hope you found something valuable. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. And to anyone who would love to support my work, my artwork, you can find the link in the description of this video to our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion, where you can find my art, prints of my paintings, original paintings, some guided meditations, some other things. Go there and check it out. And till next time, don't forget to like this video so it can come up to more people that need to hear it. And stay beautiful. One love.